Om. Om. Sahana bhavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadhitamastu, Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam everyone. I will start with, there was a mention of Vasu at the last session. So I thought I will start off with that. I had told Auntie Saku that I will cover it with Swami's excerpts today. So we are going to start with some excerpts from Swami's discourse, because the topic is pretty relevant for what we are studying also. So I thought we will read, I will go through that and then we will continue. There's an alternative name of Aditya, one who is well versed in the Vedas. The Ritviks who have the strength of the Brahmanas have been making an attempt to understand this aspect of Aditya. When we say that the Ritviks have the strength of the Brahmanas, the word Brahmanas means the mantras of the Veda. And the Ritviks, with the help of the mantras, have understood the aspect of Aditya. The statement Bharata Aditya Tasyabha Aditya explains how the word Bharata is associated with the word Aditya. This Aditya has undertaken to give us the meaning of the word of the Veda. The essence of the words of the Veda has been given to us in the aspect of Bharata by Aditya. The same Vedavani has been described by the name Vasu in the early years of its existence, and later on, when it grew a little older, it got the name Rudra, and when it became older, the same Vedavani was called Aditya. I don't know, just for anyone who may have some question on what the Ritviks are. Ritviks are those who perform yajna in the Vedic lore. So they have the strength of the Brahmanas. They have the strength of the Vedas, the knowledge of Vedas. And Swami says, the mantras of the Vedas, the Ritviks who have understood this aspect of Aditya, okay, and so on. And Swami says, Aditya is the one which was before that, when it was younger, it's a little younger, it's called Rudra. And earlier on, it's called Vasu. So the initial, it starts with Vasu, then Rudra, and then it becomes Aditya in one's lifetime. This Vedavani, in its later aspect of Aditya, has been giving out the rays of divine effulgence to the world. Just as the rays of the sun emerge from the sun spontaneously, so also the rays of the Vedavani emerge spontaneously in the form of divine effulgence. There's no one who is the originator of either the form or the content of the Vedas. They are self-effulgent. Just as the sun's rays are not created by anyone, so also the rays which come from the Vedavani and the names and forms which arise from Vedavani are spontaneous emissions of the Vedavani. They are not created by anyone. It is only in the context of the fact that the Vedavani is called by the names Vasu, Rudra, and Aditya in different stages that we should realize that these three names respectively represent Ida, Saraswati, and Bharati. In this context, the kind of sound or the word that comes from the Vedavani is called Bharati. And this Bharati has also been referred to as the consort of Bharata. In this context, Bharati has also been referred to as Deepti. We have to understand that the kind of relationship existing between the rays of the sun and the sun itself is the same as that existing between Bharati and Bharata. Similarly, the relationship between the moon and the cool air that emanates from the moon is the same as that existing between Bharati and Bharata. The relationship between Bharata and Bharati again, like the relationship that exists between milk and the white color of the milk. You can convert milk into curd and curd into butter. But in all these modifications, the milk still retains its color, namely the whiteness. Just as it is not possible to separate the pure white color from milk, although you can transform milk into curd or butter, the kind of relationship that exists between the Bharata and the Bharati is such that one cannot be separated from the other. Here the names Vasu, Aditya and Rudra are relevant. Agni is also an appropriate name for Bharata. In this context, the Shruti has been telling us the different names of Ida, Saraswati and Bharati. In the very first stage of Vasu, Ida grants us grace. It also lays down the commandments. As Saraswati, it teaches us. And finally, as Bharati, it confers the boon of self-realization. While Ida and Saraswati give the first two steps, the end result is granted by Bharati. The final result of self-realization is the outcome of the commandment of the Ida and the path laid down by Saraswati. I think some of these excerpts, I think I must have used earlier on, I think in the Rudram. I think when we are talking about Rudra, I think I must have used this. You can go back and see. So Vasu is that form of Aditya. In early stages, it lays down what we have to do, what we have to follow. All that is the role of Vasu. They control how they lay down the rules which all of us have to follow. And they are responsible for laying down that. So that's called Vasu. And which later on is Rudra, which basically allows us to understand and learn and know. It's a process of learning stage, which Saraswati is responsible for. Swami is equating them both. And at the end, what we realize as self-realization is the stage of Aditya, where he gives us experiential realization that we are divine. This is what it is. There's another excerpt. Indra is one who has the form of Virat and gives all the Aishwarya or wealth. Surya, the sun, will have the form of Hiranyagarbha. Vasu stands for the one who removes the sorrow. In this context, we know that Indra is present in the waking state, the sun in the dream state, and Vasu is present and takes care of the deep sleep state. While they correspond to these three respective states, they are not functioning independently in these states. Since these three are not fully independent, they do not act on their own in these states. Brahman is the only principle which is fully independent and remains as the basis for all the three states. So why I said it's relevant is, we are talking about this apas from which everything has originated. And everything, apas is also originated. That there's a relationship between all of them. So as Swami has said, explained, the Vasu, Indra, Rudra. Indra and Rudra are also related. I think we covered it during the Rudra. I think you all can go and look it up. There's a close relationship between Indra and the Rudra. And the last stage is Aditya. It is just an evolution, and Swami has also given this simile or allegory of milk, curds, or yogurt, and butter. But it's all the same in different stages, in different manifestations, it's the same. But ultimately, underlying everything is Brahman. So, which is what we are looking at as part of Apas in Mantra Pushpa. So, I will stop here because it's a slight digression, but because the question came, so I thought I will just cover it a little bit and then move on. If there are questions, I will deal with them at the end.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know.
So let's go to the next mantra, which we are going to cover. Yopamayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Nakshatrani va Apamayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Yo Nakshatranamayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Apo vai Nakshatranam Ayatanam Ayatanavan Bhavati Ya evam Veda Yopamayatanam Veda Ayatanavan Bhavati Nakshatrani va apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yo nakshatranamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai nakshatranamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati nakshatrani va apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati Yo nakshatranamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai nakshatranamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. In terms of pronunciation, bhavati, I think we already, there are 4 times bhavati comes. The bha is aspirated consonant. Otherwise, others are all simpler. And the word nakshatra, the naksha, the ksha is cerebral sha. So nakshatrani. Okay, so just to keep in mind. We look at the word split. Yaha apam ayatanam veda. We have already looked at this. Becomes yopam ayatanam veda. Ayatanavan bhavati. Nakshatrani va apam ayatanam. No change. Ayatanavan bhavati. Yo nakshatranam. Yo nakshatranam ayatanam veda is yaha. Yaha becomes yo. Nakshatranam ayatanam becomes nakshatranam mayatanam. Plus a becomes ma. That's only sandhi. Ayatanavan bhavati. Apaha becomes apo due to sandhi. Nakshatranam ayatana becomes nakshatranam ayatana. Otherwise, the other words are similar to the ones which we have seen in the past. We look at the meaning of the word. Yaha is who? Apam of water, sky, consciousness. Those are the meanings which have. Ayatana means the support, cause, or abode. Veda knows. Okay, whoever knows that understands the support which upper gives. Okay, ayatanavan bhavati. Such a person will themselves become possessing that ability to be an ayatanam, cause or support and so on. Nakshatrani. Nakshatrani means stars. stars, which we see in the night, all the nakshatras, stars. Stars va indeed apamayatanam. Okay, they are the support for the apa. That's what this mantra says. So in this case, what is nakshatra? What does nakshatra stance means? Nak means night. Okay. Kshatrani means they are the kings, you can say. They are the Kshatriyas who guard. So the guardians of the night is nakshatra. They are the ones who guard the world during night. It also means na kshayati, na kshinati. That means they never, there's no diminution or depletion. There's nothing. They don't diminish. That which does not diminish is nakshatra, just like aksha, na akshatrani. That means they also protect during the darkness. So which basically means these are all the powers of the Lord which guards us in the night. So that has been during when we are immersed in ignorance. The powers of God which guards us is nakshatras, nakshatrani. But we can, in the physical sense, we can say they are the stars. So that's why there's a close association in astrology also. They will say what the stars are saying. The stars control our life. As long as we are ignorant of who we are, the stars only take charge and help us. The day we realize who we are, then the nakshatras do not have any effect, or their help is not needed. So this is the belief of Jyotish itself, astrology. So nakshatrani, stars, are the support of the consciousness, or they are the cause, or they are the place where the apam resides, abode. Okay, whichever way you want to take it. So, we can witness, experience this upper through the stars. That's what it means. Okay. Amayatanam. Ayatanavan bhavati. Okay, they are full of their support. Okay. Whoever knows this. Yaha nakshatranam. Who? Nakshatranam of the stars. Ayatanam Veda. So whoever knows that which supports these stars, okay, Ayatanavan bhavati. He becomes possessor of the ability to be support. Or he himself will become that thing which supports everything. Okay. Apaha. Yes, sister.
Sairam, brother, you're saying about the stars are guardians of the night, but at the same time you're saying it controls according to astrology, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how come it comes only for the night? It's referred to the night side because of any kind of thing for the night to.
When we read the Swami's discourse, sister, that time we'll discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I will. Okay. Apaha vai nakshatrana. Apaha is water or consciousness. Is the nakshatranam ayatanam. So apaha is the support of the stars. Okay. Ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda. Whoever knows that will become the one who supports. So basically, if you know the secrets of creation, secrets of the universe, one can become divine themselves. That's the belief. Okay, that's what the Vedas are telling us. So I will read some of Swami's discourses on the stars, and then we'll discuss. There are millions of stars scattered all over the firmament, but we have only darkness at night. During day, the sun, which is a minute dot of light when compared to most of those stars give us brilliant illumination. The reason is the stars are far, far away, but the sun is near. The star of Jnana is far, far away. We do not bring it near nor attain nearness to it. We are content with the dusk that information, skill, scholarship, and intelligence provide. We do not seek the magnificent vision that intuition clarified by sadhana can confer. V.K. Rao was telling us now of the mass killings and cruelties inflicted by Western races because of fear on Jews and others, of the deep discontent which afflicts the nations which went through 2 world wars to win the precarious peace of today. He said that the thinkers of the West are turning more and more to the East to learn the art of keeping peace and winning peace, indwelling undisturbed peace, Prashanti. So I think sister was asked, maybe I will read the other, there's one more quote, we'll read that and then we'll discuss. When we lift our eyes up at the sky at night, we notice stars beyond numbers. And in the Milky Way, we see thick masses of star clusters. There are in space more than 10,000 crores of stars and of galaxies in the Milky Way and elsewhere. We have more than 10 crores. Without being lost in numbers, we must ponder over the mystery of the unity and harmony of the cosmic projection. The sun is about 90 million miles distant from our Earth. The most distant planet so far known is Pluto, which is nearly 3,670 million miles away from the sun. It takes 248 long years to make one journey round the sun. Well, has God planned all these heavenly bodies out of sheer caprice? Or does he intend to convey any lesson through these happenings? God will never produce an effect without cause or purpose, nor will he manifest any substance without value. Why? The rotation of the earth on its own axis, for example, causes night and day. Its circumambulation round the sun causes the seasons, the formation of clouds, the falling of rain and beings. God has graciously willed to establish peace and prosperity on earth. Let us see the purpose behind the alternation of day and night. After the activities of the day, night is provided to man and animals for rest and recoupment. Sleep refreshes the mind as well as the body. Without sleep, man is in danger of being too exhausted. Night, which restores health, is a gift of God to man. Placing faith in God's compassion, one can measure the benefit one derives even from stars and galaxies, the waves and the sea. So Swami is telling these stars which are all over the world, numbers in millions, are very, very big compared to the sun, which is very close to us. Our sun is a small dot compared to many of those stars which are so far away. There are many, many. And in the daytime, we don't see them because the sun is up. Sun, even though it's a very small body of light, when it's available, we cannot see the distant world, distant stars. So what Swami is saying is, the little intelligence we have, with which we think we know, we forget the brilliance of the stars which are far away, which is the jnana, which is much more greater, vaster, and more powerful and more illuminous than our own little sun which is close by. So the goal is to reach out to the stars and understand the magnitude of them and learn that, and through that we benefit. So even though the stars are so far away, the benefit we are deriving, and we may not even realize that we are deriving. If the sun, which is a small dot of light, which is close by, we think is the reason why our life on earth is going very well, we may not understand the benefits which we are getting from the distant stars. Why? Because of ignorance. So what Swami is saying is, divine energies are manifest and are helping us in this world. They're helping us even though we are ignorant, but we do not realize it. That is why these nakshatras are mentioned in the Vedas, because the rishis realized it. Rishis realized the benefit, and let's see, Swami says, placing faith in God's compassion, one can measure the benefits one derives even from stars and galaxies, the waves and the sea. So in this world, there's so much benefit which we are deriving from many objects which God has created. But because of our ignorance, we don't realize. The ignorance is the darkness. And so that's my understanding. So I thought I would share. I don't know, sister, whether your question is answered, whether you still have the question.
Yeah. Yes. But in the last sentence, the stars is giving benefits all the time. But in the first sentence, what Swami was referring to the nighttime, right? So nighttime is referred as an ignorant.
We are always in the darkness, sister.
Okay.
See, the night is there always.
The night
that ignorance is there all the time. Okay. But the thing is, when our intelligence see what happens in this world, when some problem comes. See, when everything is good, we think we can handle everything in this world. When suddenly some problem comes which our intelligence cannot handle, then we reach out for God. Because we think we are in darkness at that time. Okay. So we have a temporary satisfaction that we have all the light. Because the sun is there. But just a little bit of intelligence there, little bit of our ability or skill is there, we forget God. We forget all the energies which are supporting us. Okay. But actually, we are not even able to see the stars. Why? Even daytime it's dark means, in the daytime also we are unable to see the stars. We are unable to see the stars, that means it's darkness, which is not allowing you to see the stars. Because why the darkness? Because the close by sun is covering them. But we think it's bright. We can see everything. But no, you can't see the stars. Why? Even in daytime, the stars are present, but we are unable to see. So even though the sun is present, actually it is darkness. Because you can't see the stars. Okay, so darkness is present throughout 24 hours. We may think there's light. That the darkness of ignorance is what is being referred to here.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes,
Got it. Yes.
I know the way of thinking of the rishis is slightly different the way we think. See, in our body, so much is going on. How many of us know what all is going on in the body? Without our knowledge, everything is functioning. The heart is pumping, the lungs are breathing, all the organs are secreting whatever has to be. We are not doing anything. It's happening on its own. And we take it for granted. But the rishis realize that there is something which is controlling them. And many of these functions are related to different distant stars by the rishis. That is the study of Jyotish astrology, what are the impact of these bodies, heavenly bodies on us? Okay, so it's a slight digression, but I will move on. We'll go to the next mantra. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Parjanyo va apam ayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Yaf parjanyasya ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai parjanyasyayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda. Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Parjanyo va apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Yaf parjanyasyayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai parjanyasyayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Parjanyo va apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Yaf parjanyasyayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Apo vai parjanyasyayatanam ayatanavan bhavati. Ya evam veda. In this mantra, there are, except the bhavati, bha in the bhavati, no other sounds are aspirated consonant, so it should be reasonably simple. Only the new word which has been introduced is parjanyo. We will look, that's also simple, so it should not be difficult for you to pronounce. We'll look at the word split. Yaha apam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. We have looked at this in the past. Parjanyo is parjanyaha, which has become parjanyo because of sandhi. Otherwise, apam ayatanam is same. Parjanyasya ayatanam, it becomes parjanyasya ayatanam. This sya plus a becomes sya. Okay. Because of sandhi. Parjanyasya ayatanam. We look at the word-to-word meaning. Yaha, who, apam, water, of the water, sky or consciousness, ayatanam, the support or cause. Veda knows, who knows that. Ayatanavan bhavati is the one will become ayatanavan. Okay. Parjanyaha. Parjanyaha means clouds. Oh, sorry, I think I made a mistake. I copied that cloud. Rain clouds, thunderous clouds, these are called parjanyaha. Okay. Va apam ayatanam. Ayatanavan bhavati. So one who knows, parjanya is the support of apam, that person will become the possessor of everything. So the relationship, interrelationship between parjanya, cloud, and water. Parjanyasya ayatanam veda ayatanavan. Whoever knows the support of parjanya itself, cloud, will become the possessor, okay, of everything. Apaha vai parjanyasya ayatanam. Apaha is the support, cause of the clouds. Okay. Ayatanavan bhavati, one becomes a possessor, or one becomes that apa. Apa is the ayatana, so one becomes full of that apa. Yeah, evam veda, whoever knows that. So if we know what is the support or cause of apa, and we know that parjanya, clouds are the support of that water or consciousness, then we become knower of, or we possess that ability of ayatanam. But if what is the real support of cause is apa is the support of cause of that cloud. Whoever knows that will become. So basically, if we know the relationship and how things manifest from one to the other. So if we were just reading, milk is the one which produces curds. From curds only you get butter. They're all interrelated. Okay. Then you can say the butter is the cause of milk. Means butter is contained in the milk. Without the butter, one cannot call a milk. So there's that interrelationship. They are different manifestation of the same principle. So this is the idea. We'll read Swami's some excerpt. From the universal absolute manifested the Brahman, the cosmic principle. From Brahman, karma, regulated activity based on Vedic prescriptions originated. From this kind of karma, the gods are delighted and they shower rain. Directing the rain god, Parjanya, to bless the world and its people. So Parjanya, as Swami says, is the god of rain. Rain god is Parjanya. And its people. Since rain falls, crops grow and food is available for consumption. Through food, man gets health and strength and vitality. As a result of this vitality, man multiplies and reproduces himself. This is the cycle. According to the Vedas, karma, rain, crops, food, fecundity. Kratus, elaborate rituals of this type are undertaken for invoking timely rains, congenial seasons, and peace and prosperity for the whole world. It is an activity which declares whether the individual or society is good or bad. That is, actions they declare whether something is good or bad. So it says, the thermometer measures the temperature of the body and announces whether the body is well or ill. The karma or activity is the indicator of inner character. Observing one's actions, their motives, their consequences, the extent of one's involvement, it is possible to declare one as a Pashu, beast, or Pashupati, the lord of the individual souls. That is to say, as divine as God himself. So here, Swami is talking about actions will create the clouds. The clouds pour rain and which only sustains us. So here the word Parjanya also can be said, whatever we earn through our actions is Parjanya. The clouds which actually sustains us, our actions, karma, the results of karma is what sustains us. So the Parjanya is a symbolism of the results of all of our actions. That's also another meaning. But you can say the water itself has become clouds. Okay, so that's another excerpt. So I will read that also. The human body is not an ordinary thing. It's like the temple of God. This body is also like a chariot for God. This chariot cannot be empty. In the chariot, the one who has the form of the Atma is the God. It is in this context that we say that God, who is ancient, because he is eternal, is living in this new human body. In the sacred and divine temple, the human body, the effulgent Atma, is living. Like every river flows to join the sea, the human life must also flow to join its ultimate destination, the ocean of divinity. There's an example for this. The sun's rays fall on an ocean and convert the water into vapor. If you directly take ocean water, it will taste salty. But when the ocean water is converted into vapor because of sun's rays, and if this vapor turns into clouds and rain, this rainwater will taste very sweet. Here we should ask, how and where from does the rainwater get its sweet taste while the water from the ocean tastes saltish? The water of those oceans can be compared to knowledge obtained from books, while the water from rains can be compared to knowledge obtained from experience. When the sun's rays fall on the ocean water, it gets converted into clouds, which may be compared with truth. From these clouds, which we have called truth, will come the raindrops in the form of love. The drops of love gather together and form a river of bliss. The river of bliss, which is made up of drops of love, will go and merge in the ocean again. There's no other alternative for this water. That is why it is said that all rivers must merge in the ocean. The water that has fallen on earth has ultimately to merge with the ocean. So Parjanya also symbolizes how do we create these clouds of love. If we know that, we will become divine. So that is with the help of the sun, knowing what is truth, we will become the clouds. So that's the way the clouds are formed. If we know the principle, Swami says, we will also become divine. So it's nicely explained by Swami in this discourse. Yes, Yaf Parjanyasya Ayatanam. Whenever we see clouds, we should understand. If you do something bad, we will say the clouds of doubt, despair also can come. So it all depends on actions. And with God's help, we'll be able to create good clouds, which are rain clouds, full of love. We'll go to the next mantra. Yopam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati samvatsaro va apam ayatanavan bhavati yas samvatsarasya ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai samvatsarasya ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati samvatsaro va apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yas samvatsarasya ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai samvatsarasya ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda Yopamayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati samvatsaro va apamayatanam ayatanavan bhavati Yas samvatsarasyayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apo vai samvatsarasyayatanam ayatanavan bhavati ya evam veda. In this mantra also, most of the words are same. Bhavati is the only letter. The bha in the bhavati is the only letter which is aspirated. The new word which gets added is samvatsara. That's also of all simple letters, so it should be easy to pronounce. We look at the Sandhi split. Yaha apam ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati. Same as all the mantras before. Samvatsaraha becomes samvatsaro. Otherwise, it's all the same. Ayatanavan bhavati. Samvatsarasya ayatanam. Isya plus a becomes sya. That's the difference. That's a Sandhi letter there, which is also similar to the ones which we have seen in the past. Yah samvatsarasya ayatanam veda ayatanavan bhavati apah vai samvatsarasya ayatanam ayatanavan bhavati yah evam veda. Quite similar to all the other mantras, so I'm not dwelling too much. So if you look at everything, what is different? It's samvatsara. Okay, one who knows apa is the support of samvatsara, samvatsara is the support of apa. If we know that, whoever knows that will become an ayatanavan. Okay. Samvatsara means year, time. Okay. Vatsara itself is time or year. Samvatsara means full year is Samvatsara. And so in India, New Year is called Nutana Samvatsara. Nava Samvatsara. That means a new year. Samvatsara denotes time. Samvatsarasya of the Samvatsara is a simple noun. Samvatsarasya is of the year. Support is apaha. Okay. Apaha vai samvatsarasya ayatan. So apaha is the support of everything. Okay. So that's and whoever knows that will become divine themselves. We will look at some excerpts of Swami's discourse. Yes, sister.
Sairam, brother. The previous mantra, what is the meaning of it? That mantra again, the Samvatsara. So what is the?
So the year. Year, so year means it's time. Apa has created time.
Okay.
Okay. So, and time creates Apa also. Supports Apa. So Apa has originated, so Samvatsara has originated from Apa.
Okay.
Apa is the support. Just the way everything else also
So
originated from
we
this
are
body.
praying in the mantra for the time.
No, we are not praying for the time.
That
We are saying time as a concept which we have experienced. We will read the Discord, sister, and then that
okay.
should give you some understanding, and then we'll come back if you may have any question.
Thank you.
That's why I went to, everything originated from Apa, consciousness. And consciousness is support of everything. And if we know the relationship between that, then we will become divine. That's ultimately everything which is created. So that's in a nutshell is the meaning, but let's see what Swami is saying. All holy festivals in Bharat are invested with a profound inner significance. Today is Yugadi Day. It is commonly believed that this marks the beginning of a new year. No, it is really a beginning of the Yuga. The Lord is beginning and the end of every year. Lord is the beginning and end of every year, or every Yuga. Hence, he is called Yugadikrit, the creator of Yuga. God is not only the creator of each eon, but he is also described as the sustainer of the Yuga. In sustaining the Yuga, the Lord is all powerful. He is omnicompetent. Hence, he has the appellation Yugadhara. Oh, okay, Yugadhara. Or Yugadhara. Sorry, Yugadhara. The support of Yuga. He is also known as Yugandhara. Okay. Divinity is the power behind the creation and sustenance and dissolution of every year. So God is the creator, sustainer, and of every year, time itself. What is the meaning of Samvatsara? Samvatsara means God, the one who dwells in everything. For Samvatsara, the year, the underlying spirit is Atma. Another name for Samvatsara is Kala, time. Because time is subsumed by the spirit, God is known as Kala Atma, the time spirit. Yugadi therefore represents the form of the divine. The cosmos itself is the form of the divine Vishnu. Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma, declares the Upanishad. The four yugas, the yans Krita, Treta, Dwapara, and Kali are permeated with divinity. Hence, God has also the name Chaturatmaka, the fourfold spirit. This fourfold spirit is manifested in four forms with distinctive attributes, though their powers are one and the same. They are Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. All the four are combined in the avatara, the incarnation of the divine in human form. God should not be regarded as some separate power or entity. Time is a manifestation of God. Hence, God is adored as Kala, time. Kala, the master of time, controller of time. Kalatita, one who transcends time, etc. God is also known as Vatsara, as the divine indweller in all beings. Okay, I hope the doubts should be answered.
Thank you.
That's why I am not going to explanation. I will use Swami to explain the mantra, because no one can do as well as Swami can do. Okay. We'll go to the last mantra. This is the key of whatever we have read. Okay. Yopsu navam pratishtitam veda pratyeva tishtati. Yopsu navam pratishtitam veda pratyeva tishtati. Yopsu navam pratishtitam veda pratyeva tishtati. In terms of pronunciation, Yopsu navam pratishti. This ush is cerebral ta. It's the second ta in the ta varga, so it has to aspirate. Pratishtitam. Okay. Yopsu navam pratishtitam veda pratyeva tishtati. This also tishta. So it's the second letter in the ta varga, so it has to be aspirated. The split of this mantra is Yaha Apsu becomes Yopsu. Visarga becomes Yaha becomes Yo, A becomes silent. So that's how you get Yopsu from Yaha Apsu. Yaha Apsu Navam Pratishtitam Veda, no change. Prati Eva. Prati Eva is Prati Eva Tishtati. Okay, Prati Eva becomes Prati Eva Tishtati. I've written this, maybe I will remove it from here. I will discuss it when we discuss the meaning. Okay, so let's look at the meaning. Yaha, who, apsu, apa is water or consciousness or whatever. In that water, this is the seventh vibhakti. In that water or space or consciousness, navam is boat. Now is the simple noun. Navam is a second vibhakti or second bhakti or object. Okay, so but simply put, it means it's a boat. Pratishtitam. Pratishtita means the way to establish something. Pratishtai, pratishtai means to establish something. Pratishtita means the way to establish, the process of establishing, the skill of establishing Veda. So whoever knows how to establish the boat in the water. We have discussed about this apa, water or consciousness. Who knows how to put a boat in that water. Whoever knows that, Prati eva tishtati. Prati means stand in opposition, to withstand anything. So I would say, I would put the word withstand also. Okay, if something is coming against you, to be able to stand in the face of that. Prati, to oppose something. Eva, indeed, tishtati. So Prati eva stand. Prati eva tishtati. Okay. In the Vedas, sometimes they may split the word and use. So actually, it's Prati tishtati. Prati tishtati means be firmly established. So whoever knows to plant a boat in this apaha, this water, will be firmly established. So this is what the mantra says. So, we have looked at apaha, the water is continuously flowing. If you take a look at this water can, become a river, then it flows. This life itself is this flow of water. This is the journey of the water to the ocean, back to the source. So in our life, whatever we encounter is a flux of time, flux of creation. We are born and we die, we are born and we die. So there is this river in which we are going. So when we are like that, we will be floundering in the water. Whoever knows that everything around us which happens is what has been it's a creation of God and is sustained by God, and knowing how to put a boat in that. The boat itself is Him, the Lord, His name. If we know how to do that, then we will be firmly established. We will not be shaken by it, anything. So that is the last mantra. So whoever knows that will be able to firmly establish in God. That knowing how to put that. Pratishtitam Veda. Now, okay, Apsu Navam Pratishtitam Veda. Whoever knows that, how to do that, that person will be unaffected across time, across anything which happens in this world. So the entire process of sadhana is to get that knowledge, to be understand, not only just know intellectually, but experientially know that. So for that, we started today Vasu. God has laid down what we have to be done. Then we have to gain knowledge. Knowledge not just by reading, but through experience. That is, Swami said, some knowledge is coming from the books. That's of no use. He says, experientially, we have to experience divine everywhere. So I will read a discourse of Swami, which I thought is very nicely summarizes. Actually, I have put the entire discourse here, so I hope you don't mind. But I thought it's worth reading it because it nicely summarizes, in my view, the meaning of this mantra Pushpa. I think last time Brother Vimalesan was saying I should give a summary. This is summary of mantra Pushpam the way I understand. The way of for us all Sai devotees. Let me tell you, this village is not getting light today. It got the light the day this Shakti, meaning himself Sai Baba, took birth in this place. For what is this little light that illumines just a few yards about each pole when compared with the light that illumines the heart and spreads joy and peace? Let me pause here. Swami has gone to inaugurate some lighting. Some village has got light, electricity. So Swami is inaugurating and Swami is talking, giving this talk. From that day when this light appeared, which is this light Swami appeared, you have been witnessing how the light is widening over the country, attracting the attention of the entire world to this tiny hamlet nestled among these hills, away from the flow of turbid currents of civilization. Now you have buses and lorries coming along the newly laid roads. Just today, the decision has been made to improve the roads around this village to the standards of tarred roads. You have at Prashant Nilayam an up-to-date hospital. You have a fine school building for your children. And this and the neighboring villages have the benefit of this very useful electric current, which you can now direct for various purposes at home as well as in the fields. You gave me this garland of flowers when I came, but I would have been glad if every one of you, had become a fragrant flower, free from the insect pests of vice and wickedness, strung on the thread of devotion to God. That means you must be united and of one mind, free from hatred and spite, factionalism and greed. Villages are being ruined everywhere by elements that promote faction and sow the thorny seeds of hatred in the fields where useful crops have to be grown. Here many feel that you are not attending bhajans or frequenting the Nilayam as much as they do. They say among themselves that the inhabitants of Puttaparthi, the village where Sri Sathya Sai Baba was born, have no devotion. But I know that you are every moment thinking about me, watching for me, talking about me, pointing me out to visitors, expecting me to return soon when I have gone out of this place, etc. If this is not constant remembrance, Smarana, what is it? You must have seen women carrying a number of water pots one over the other on their heads. They may have babies on their hips and children that they lead along, but all the while their thoughts will be about the hearth in their kitchens and the food that is being cooked there, for they are anxious that it should not be spoiled. The strength-giving, peace-creating culture of Bharat, India, has been submerged by the flashy, glittering ideals introduced from the West during centuries of foreign rule. The attention of the people of this land is drawn from the heights to the lowly needs of senses and the stomach. Even after Indians regained the power to shape their own future, the situation has not improved, for the same injurious attitude is being perpetuated. The beliefs and practices of the past are condemned as superstitions by the inheritors of that very heritage. I won't agree with people who dismiss them as superstitions, for they gave those who believed and acted according to that belief the most precious treasure of bliss and peace, Ananda and Shanti. They helped to pull out the poisonous fangs of karma, fangs that inject greed, egoism, and hate. They taught man to do action, karma, as a sacred duty and leave the result to God, thus avoiding the two evils of pride and frustration. Pride that the act was a success, frustration when it did not succeed. It also contributed some positive good. The karma was done well as the individual can execute it. For all karma was transformed into worship of the Supreme. Humanity was saved by the emphasis of selfless action. For unending desire and inexplicable sorrow. Now, like water, people flow ever downward, and at the least disappointment, they break into bits and drops. Once again, the attitude must be implanted in humanity. One has acted the role of clown or servant or an extra much too long. It is time one took the role of the hero for which one is destined and equipped. So like the garland maker who selects flowers of various hues, sizes, and fragrances for preparing a garland, the Prashanti Vidwan Mahasabha, Society of Pandits, too has selected these Pandits and prepared a garland. The purpose of the society is to remind everyone of the role of the hero they have to play. Of course, I am the sustainer of flowers, not the garland maker. The heroism of the wise persons has gone from this land, and the weakness of the ignorant has overwhelmed the people. Sloth has taken place of earnestness. Hesitation has halted courage. This has to be corrected. Even in other lands, the sense of values has to be restored, and faith in divinity of humanity has to be restored. That is the task for which I have come. Even the Pandits who have the great scholarship have no happiness. The scriptures that they have mastered are designed to confer peace of mind, contentment, and unshakable joy, but the repositories of that scholarship are very discontented group today. They have the umbrella in their hands, no doubt, but it does not protect them against rain or shine. So even they have to be made aware of the excellence of the knowledge they are carrying and its curative property. Know thyself, not the sun and the moon, is a specific for humanity's ills. So this is a discourse from 20th October 1963, one of the early discourses Swami had given. I picked it up because, what is the process of putting the boat in this river? And Swami nicely, Swami also says, he is the who is the creator of the flowers. Because we started with Yopam Pushpam Veda. Whoever knows what is the origin or sustenance of the flower. Okay, as Swami says, I am the sustainer of the flowers. Okay, so God is the sustainer of the flowers. He is the cause of flowering itself. So we started with that Pushpam Veda, Pushpavan Prajavan Bhavati. So one who knows this Pushpa, who has created this flower, will themselves will be filled with Pushpa. So Swami is saying he is the flower. He mentioned this word flower in a couple of places. See, you gave me this garland of flowers when I came. But I would have been glad if every one of you had become a fragrant flower. Free from the insect pests of vice and wickedness, strung to the thread of devotion to God. Devotion to God is the boat. Remembering Him all the time is the boat which carries us without any floundering in the water of life. So Apa is who has created Apa. Water is the water of life itself. How we flow from the salty ocean, we become the clouds. We rain down as drops. We flow. So that is part of creation. God is the source, sustenance, and controller of everything. And if we know the relationship of everything in creation with God and how He is the one who is the support, creator, and sustainer, if we know that experientially, then we will be filled with that flowering and we will become the flowers. And that is what the Mantra Pushpam says. It picks up great principles, things which God has created and how they control our life. And says if we know the secret of that relationship, and knowing that secret of relationship, knowing how to put a boat in this creation and get into it, then we will be firmly established in the divine. We will become divine ourselves. So this is the simple words, the Mantra Pushpa, a summary of that. With those thoughts, I will stop here. So that is Mantra Pushpam in essence. Yes, sister. We'll go to Kalyani. Yes.
Sorry, Uncle. In the one for Vatsara, in the last sentence of the discourse, it says, God is also known as Vatsara, the divine indweller in all beings. Is Vatsara, you also said Vatsara itself just means year as well, right?
Yes. See, Vatsa means child. Ra means that which makes Ra is the sun or fire principle which makes it function. So if we are able to function, there's something within us which makes us function. What makes us function? The indweller inside, the power within. Ra is nothing but energy and power also. So Vatsara is that which makes it run.
Okay.
But Samvatsara is the power that makes time go around. Time itself is flowing, past, present, and future. So God is the one who makes that also function. That's why that Samvatsara also means year. Because year is the God of the year is Samvatsara. The one who makes the year run, he is Samvatsara.
Okay.
But Samvatsara is time. Time is what makes everything in this world run. So all these meanings come from this Vatsa. Anything which is given birth is Vatsa. That which makes it function. The energy which makes it spin. Ra. That is the Ra meaning of Ra. So that's how Vatsara is the one which makes us indweller. He is the indweller of time itself. Makes everything function in this world.
Is it Vatsara because like every moment is like a new birth, that kind of meaning?
Exactly. We are born every moment. Every breath is making us be born. Everything is created the same way. Everything is given new lease of life. The time itself, there is the samvatsara also means the seasons which are needed for the world to function. The rainy season, the winter season, the spring season. It makes things grow and go through that cycle. So the cycle of year means all the 4 seasons, which makes everything come to life, be born, grow, mature, die. That is what happens in a year. Spring to winter, spring to winter. So that is the circle of life, born and die. All that is symbolized by samvatsara.
And in the 2 slides before that, there was the Yugadhara and then Yugandhara. Andhara means like enemy, right? Like that.
Andhara means you can say one who brings about the end of. Okay. Andhara also means to destroy.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So from that meaning, so Dhara means to smash.
Oh.
Okay. So he's the one who destroys time itself. Okay. Kalantaka is also another word which is used. He's the one who ends time. Okay. The end of time. The one who kills Yama, that's also, people say Yama is something but time, Kala.
Oh. And just in the sort of the formation of the mantra, like, so the first sentence always says like Yaha Apam Ayatanam Veda. So whoever knows the Ayatanam of Apaha, they become Ayatanam.
Exactly.
And then, so then, for example, this one, Samvatsara Va Apam Ayatanam. So Samvatsara is the Ayatanam of Apa.
Yes.
And then the next part where it says Ayatanavan Bhavati, is that referring again to the Yaha from earlier?
Yes, Yaha.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like just saying, reiterating.
Exactly. Reiterating the same thing.
Okay.
Again, multiple times, 3 times, I think, in the Ayatanavan Bhavati comes.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Uncle.
You're welcome. Sairam, Sister Aruna.
Brother, in that excerpt, the one sentence, brother, Swami says he's a sustainer of the flower, but not the garland maker. What is that Swami is referred by that, not the garland maker, kind of, please?
You should ask Swami. But garland making is coming together, uniting. He says we should do the job. He has created the garlands, flowers. We have to string the garland together. So it's some job which he is giving us.
So that comes as a karma of ours. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you.
So we should do the work with what he has given. So stringing the divinity in everyone together is the garland making.
Yeah, see the oneness. Okay, great. Thank you, Saira.
Okay, so some work he has given us. We can't say you are the garland maker, you make the garland. We will just think about it. So some effort is needed, I think.
Thank you.
That's my understanding, sister. But there may be other meanings, Saira. Yes, Brother Dasan.
Yes, Saram, brother. These 8 vasus, so they are the ones responsible for the whatever the Vedas, whatever they said here, some of the tasks.
So they are supposed to have laid down the law. There are other excerpts which I did not bring, brother.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are responsible for establishing the Shastras. So the ways we have to conduct ourselves.
Okay. So that
they lay down the. Sorry, go ahead.
And so that means there was sister one time because of the Kamadhenu issue, and she cursed all the 8 vasus, and they came down, and that Ganga's the story. So is that related to this one? The Bhishma is the one left, and other 7 they went back to the originated place right away.
Yeah, the thing is, some of them, brother, symbolize, they are the symbolic stories. Okay. They essentially tell us how we should live. Okay. So the thing is, the story is they had to take, even the divine ones, if they slip from their duty, what they have laid down, and if they do not practice, they also have to pay a small price for that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if the king lays down the law and does not follow that, the king is also someone who has to go through the results of that.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we are also created by God, just the way Vasu is also created. Vasu is nothing but our own youth. Okay. In our youth, if we do not what we have to follow, then we have to face the consequences.
Thank you, Brother Saira.
Okay, so that's my understanding. But so the stories have to be taken to explain that as explaining a certain principle. So Bhishma is, say, though 8 Vasus, they are all same also. They are all related, but Bhishma represented all the Vasus, but he lived a life of, very controlled life, which shows how a Vasu will live. The way Bhishma lived his life is phenomenal. Because of that, he was blessed by Krishna at the end of his life, when he was. And he also, if he did not do something right, he had to undergo the results of that. So he lay down on the bed of arrows, gladly accepting it.
That's correct.
And so that's the way we also have to live. We also may be lying down on a bed of arrows. We should gladly accept that and wait for the Lord to come.
Thank you, Brother
Saira.
Saira.
So I think, I don't know whether people feel I covered too much or not, but I think it was more discourses. I think you can take your time and read. I posted late today, because I was also engrossed in reading and trying to digest myself so that I can present it in the best way possible. So I hope I have done reasonable justice to what I undertook. With this, Mantra Pushpam comes to an end. I was thinking what I should take up. I'm thinking of taking the 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. There are a couple of reasons why I'm taking that up, because as students, Swami was always wanted students to learn the entire 12th chapter by heart, and we used to we had by heart, and we used to chant it in mandir. Swami used to say, okay, chant, and so everyone will sing the 12th chapter, all the verses. And also the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, especially what relates to Sthita Prajna, that's also a section which Swami wanted us all to learn by heart. So I thought that would be appropriate to do the 12th chapter. Another reason for that is we are covering Bhakti Yoga in the Gita Vahini study circle at this time. So it will complement that study also. So because of that, I thought I will cover the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhakti Yoga, as the next series of thing which we study. It will take a few months, I guess. But after that, we can see what else we want to study. Okay, Sairam, with those thoughts. Yes, Auntie Saku.
So we have to memorize the verses? No, it's okay. We can.
See, in 1984, Swami gave a discourse, and in which he said, I want you all to memorize, and I will ask you a question anytime,
Mhm.
and you should be able to give me the answer. So this is what Swami told in 1984.
Thank you.
So what happened was, I thought I took it very seriously, and I memorized, and every discourse I read, and I was ready with, if Swami asked an question, I will answer. I'm sure many other students also would have done it. But Swami never asked the question.
Mhm.
So later on in my life, I thought, Swami, Swami, scared us unnecessarily, telling that he will ask questions, but he never asked. But if he has said that I will ask, when is he going to ask? That's a question which I had. But it took me many decades to realize, actually, he has been asking the question.
Mhm.
How he asks the question is, in life, when situations come up, and they are the questions, they are the tests.
Mhm.
And if you apply what you have learned, then you have passed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you should remember to apply it in your life when questions are posed by way of challenges, so any life experience. So
Brother
that's my
Swami,
understanding. So memorizing is an internalizing of the message.
Yeah.
today we
Not
studied
yes.
knowledge, experience, right? Brother, how many slokas in that 12th chapter?
20 up to 20.
20?
Yes, close to 20. I think,
Oh.
I maybe wait.
Okay,
Young people can do it.
out of 700, we are going to study only 20. We'll see later.
Pardon?
Thank you. Some 20, okay, great, thanks.
Sairam, brother. This
Sairam,
Gopal.
sir.
Sairam, thank you. You have explained very nicely,
Sairam.
beautifully. And just a question I have: when this mantra Pushpam is chanted usually towards the end, and what does this signify? The signification of putting it towards the end of welcoming in any ceremony? Yeah.
See, the thing is, Uncle, my understanding, I will just share my understanding. The reason is, whenever we do any form of prayer, it's a sadhana. The sadhana should reinforce the fact to us, the reason for doing the sadhana is to put the boat in the river, not for anything else. The whole sadhana process is to put the boat in the river, so we will be established. So this is actually reminds us why we are doing the sadhana at the end, so that we don't forget. Generally, we may think we have done a sadhana, or if you do this puja, you will get this benefit, you will get that benefit, or something. But ultimately, Mantra Pushpam tells us, you are the flower, you become the flower, know how to put the boat in this water of life, in this creation. So that's re-emphasizing, recollecting, remembering, that is the purpose of Mantra Pushpam.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. It was very beautiful. Especially with the Swami's discourses. It's very, very beautiful. You had blessed us so.
Swami blessed us all. He gave me an opportunity to study, think, contemplate, and present it to you. So I am equally or more benefited by this.
Thank you again. Sairam.
Kalyani, you have a question?
Oh, Sairam, Uncle. Usually when we had learned this, at the end, there's like a little piece like Raja Adi Raja. Is that
Yeah,
not?
so you want me to cover that?
No, I was just asking, is it like just a separate mantra or something?
It's a separate mantra, but it's generally chanted along. I was thinking whether I should cover that. If you are interested, I will cover that and then go to chapter 12. Or I can do chapter 12 and come back to that also.
Anything, either one is fine. Uncle. Yeah.
Anything is okay.
Okay. You are
And
leaving.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for explaining with related to our Atman and our purpose of our life.
Sai Ram.
Thank you. Thank you. Going deep inside. Thank you.
So it's 10:30. We'll close. So I think I will still go with the Bhagavad Gita 12 because we are studying the Gita Vahini. It's 20 shlokas. I don't know. It'll take about a couple of months or so. Then we can go to Raja the Raja. I think some of you may be familiar with the chanting, and some of you may not be. So I think it may be good if they're learning. Even Mantra Pushpam, I don't know, many of you may have not learned or have listened. Some of you may be familiar. So I will go to chapter 12 and then we'll come back to Raja the Raja.
We have learned through Bharani.
I see. Some of you, that's why I said some of you have learned, some, not everyone. Okay. Sai Ram, everyone. If everyone is okay, then we'll go to chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, good.
Sai Ram, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
We'll close with Samastaloka. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sai Ram, everyone.